Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Back in 2013, government organizations were all up in Diddy's business, sending off an examination concerning his exercises with little fellows. When the federal authorities step in, you realize they mean business. They tested profoundly into Diddy's reality before unexpectedly dropping the examination. As per Feline, Diddy had a few influential individuals safeguarding him at that point, and they made some things happen to get the federal authorities away from him, yet stand by. There's more. Diddy's previous craftsman, Mace, dropped hints that Diddy attempted to drive him into some freaky stuff when he was under terrible kid records. Purportedly, this entire experience was the genuine explanation for Mama's Hamburger, with Diddy ultimately driving him to discard the name in the wake of heading out in different directions from terrible kid records. Mace took a diversion from the rap game and sought after a hire considering turning into a minister. So here's what certain individuals feel. Mama's choice to pull back from the mic and embrace Christianity may be associated with some wild stuff he saw at Diddy's gatherings. You know, things that didn't actually line up with his soul. It's normal for specialists to find solace in religion when the business gets too genuine. It seems as though Mace could have run over certain things that simply didn't agree with his spirit, pushing him towards a more profound way. Yet here's the kicker. Before he turned into a minister, he and Diddy didn't precisely part based on great conditions. The word on the road is that Mace didn't get compensated by Diddy in the wake of leaving the records. Better believe it. You heard it right. No money, no check, simply radio quiet on the installment front, and on the off chance that that wasn't terrible enough, Diddy evidently destroyed Mama's standing in the industry, getting him boycotted. He circumvented spreading bits of gossip, talking smack, making it unimaginable for Mace to land an arrangement with another mark. It's simply obscure, and presently he has returned to spill the tea on the mysteries he once found in a meeting. Mace tossed conceal at those who've been working in the background to pour mud over his name for a really long time. He guarantees that there's something else to Diddy in his gatherings. Besides, we could at any point know when Mace dropped the bomb. He clarified that things were more terrible than we suspected, and let you know reports about Diddy's sexuality have been going around for a really long time, harking back to the 90s. The business was each of the A-buzz with murmurs about Diddy's inclinations. Sue Knight and Tupac Shakur were among quick to rate. See those questions. Sheej never need to avoid mixing the pot, dropped a few pretty strong clues. Harking back to the 90s about Diddy's inclinations around then. Sue J and Diddy weren't precisely closest friends on the off chance that you get my meaning, so this person he didn't hold back, he went on record offering expressions that had everybody talking. She wasn't one to skirt the real issue. He tossed conceal at Diddy and spilled the genuine tea on what Diddy was doing in the background, and we should not fail to remember Tupac Shakur. Man, he had this extraordinary contention with Diddy. Tupac, you realize he was known for being sincere. He had some unavoidable inclinations about Diddy's sexuality, and he made sure to his interest about Diddy being on the D. Murmurs were drifting around the business, and Tupac, consistent with his temperament, he tended to them head on. And what might be said about 50 Penny? He's been on Diddy's case as far back as we can recall. 50 Penny was one of the first to club onto Diddy's secret exercises, pulling out all the stops. He directly got down on Diddy's sexuality in any event, dropping some pics that set the whole web aburst. So there was this one time when he posted an image of Diddy and Rick Ross that completely seemed as though they were making out, and he subtitled that he isn't making any cases. However, there is, by all accounts, something amiss. We should discuss 50 Cent briefly. This person has this inconceivable ability for making all of us sit up and focus. It resembles he's the hip bounce investigator, exploring each move Diddy makes. And he's been really steady about it. Recall that time he said that they can't give help anymore. They anticipate that everybody will become gay and blissful sooner rather than later. He proclaims that the initiative has been moved to Puffy Daddy and teaches the crowd to go to the nearest rainbow. He even referenced how Diddy generously proposed to go with him for a shopping binge. Diddy has been hit with a lot of allegations from a lot of youthful folks who used to admire him for direction and a shot at becoming famous in media outlets. And let you know these charges are truly negatively affecting Diddy. I mean, we're discussing a few notable names here, like rapper YK Osiris, entertainer Orlando Brown, and domain star Briar Dart. These folks truly thought Diddy planned to assist them out with knowing, but it turns out Diddy wasn't precisely in that frame of mind of freebies. Bry Transparent Dim's supervisor Charlie Mack assumed a major role in getting him associated with Diddy and handling his job in Realm. Brer really needed to be a rapper, so Charlie Mack acquainted him with Will Smith, who then, at that point, connected him with Diddy. Now, bits of gossip drifting around about Will are being associated with Diddy's wild ventures, and individuals are guessing that Diddy could have debased Br Sheer when he became weary of all the insane stuff that can make sense of why Br sort of blurred from the scene after Domain. However, stand by, there's all the more. Even Attendant, who is Diddy's protege, isn't insusceptible to the murmurs regarding Diddy's impossible-to-miss dreams during a meeting with Howard Harsh. The attendee truly uncovered captivating insights concerning his initial life. At the young age of 14, he was shipped off Live with Diddy, a movie coordinated by L.A. Reid. This experience permitted Usher to observe firsthand the internal functions of the business, as he noticed Diddy blending with compelling figures through this extraordinary open door. Usher acquired important experiences into the truth of the music world. Attendant let the cat out of the bag about his time living with Diddy, and let me let you know it was beyond anything he expected. While he was attempting to learn the intricate details of the business, Usher got hauled into what Diddy called the Diddy flavor. Camp fans were shocked to learn why the 14-year-old attendant was living with a grown-up like Diddy, particularly given Diddy's infamous standing at the time. Usher uncovered that he had total opportunity at Diddy's home, keeping awake until the early hours celebrating close by the adults, and TL. When he got some information about tasks from Howard Harsh, Attendant basically smiled and uncovered that his only obligation was to party. Yet here's the thing, when inquired as to whether Diddy's place was loaded up with young ladies, Usher appeared to be a little awkward. Closing down the thought anyway, before he could stop himself, he let slip that he saw a few pretty fascinating things presently. What precisely do fascinating things mean? Attendant, we should return to that cringe-worthy second when Diddy let the cat out of the bag during a meeting about imparting a bed to Usher. Hold up a brief, why in the world would Diddy bunk with a 14-year-old, particularly when Diddy has a manner with spaces for a really long time, in a fairly casual way? Diddy dropped the bomb, saying that they were two kin who shared a nearby bond. Every morning they would awaken and partake in breakfast together, in spite of periodic interferences and conflicts. They esteemed these minutes. One specific wellspring of dispute between them was their common love for iced pieces of grain. Earnestly, there's something else to this story than meets the eye. Fans were left scratching their heads considering what was truly happening among them, and anything it was, it appeared to be exceptionally obscure anyway. It seemed like Diddy snapped back to reality after those words got away from his lips, quickly attempting to move past it in the interim. Attendant remained there looking a little humiliated, as though Diddy had recently offered something that ought to have remained hush. Usher has been keeping things secret about what really went down at Diddy's party. Yet here's the consuming inquiry. Did he engage in some obscure business, and does Diddy have some soil on him? Or perhaps Usher got himself in too far, and presently he's stuck, not knowing how to get out of the worst situation imaginable. He's concerned that Diddy could attempt to pull a comparable trick, like how he probably treated Jamie Foxx. You realize that Una Live thing? We should dive into the reports circumventing about Diddy and his supposed connections with Justin Bieber. Evidently, there's been discussion about a wild 48-hour caper when Bieber was only 15, and he's even focused on his battles with drugs during that time. And presently, there's doubt about Diddy's contribution considering his standing for substance use. There have been murmurs regarding Diddy's unseemly way of behaving towards Justin when he was more youthful, and things got significantly more fascinating when Diddy guaranteed Justin a Ferrari for his 16th birthday celebration. Was that simply a gift, or was there something really happening in the background? These tales are picking up speed, and now is the ideal time to unwind reality. Some even propose that Diddy might play had an impact in Justin's compulsion. It's terrible to catch wind of the difficulties Justin looked into the business early on, and he's been open about how troublesome it was for him to conquer his fixation. Fans saw a significant change in Justin's circle after he chose to get it together. He reduced most, if not all, connections with Diddy and didn't spend as much time with Usher as before. Justin embraced a clear-headed way of life and left on a staggering excursion, expressing farewell to drugs and accomplishing moderation. Feel allowed to impart your insights in the remarks beneath and try to look at another fascinating video. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to this channel.